Hey, folks.
Hey.
Welcome to the 4099 podcast with your hosts.
Dima.
And Nick. Man. And we have a fellow artist in the studio.
Yeah.
That we're really excited to share an interview or episode, interview, whatever you want to call it. I'd rather actually just say conversation because that's really
big
what this
talks.
is. Yeah, big talks.
We do big talks.
Let's go ahead and pop these brewskis.
You want me to make your sound for you?
Well, yeah. So I'm already drinking my beer. I didn't get the memo.
Clink.
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 Cheers.
And sing.
It's delicious.
Coconut beer.
Coconut beer. Huh?
We took the label off of yours. What is that?
Not a sponsor. That's what that is.
Hey.
Yeah, like halfway through, I just like, can't continue doing this. Yeah.
Yep.
Especially because we spend so much fucking money on the beer.
Right. Yeah. I mean, these craft beers are expensive.
I spent $110 today on some beers.
Damn.
I got 12 beers. 12 beers. $110.
Wow.
Yeah. And you get the high percentage. You get the heavy hitters.
The bougie stuff.
But that shit's not important. You know what's important? Introducing our guest.
Yes.
Everybody, say hello to my good friend Jenna Rice. We just met, but we're best buds.
Oh, yeah. Best buds. Absolutely. Instantly.
We've been chilling for at least 30 minutes.
For sure.
Really...
Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely.
I thought this would be a lot of fun, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry if we disappoint you.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we've started out well so far. I mean, we got the beers cracked, and we really want to ask you some fucking questions about what you do, what you're passionate about, and just everything in general, starting with your upbringing and how you got into.
We're gonna do the classic past, present, future.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go back in the future, back to the past. So I was born in Maine. I was raised in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, and then I went to college in Florida. Lived there for about 8 years or so, kind of went on and off, and then I moved here almost 6 years ago.
So now, tell me how my research was. All right, so we got 2007.
Tell him how good he creeped
to Florida.
2007. Yes,
okay.
I moved to Florida. I went to Florida Southern College in Lakeland, Florida.
And you graduated in 2012.
I graduated in
fuck
2012. You're correct.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yes, I did. Yeah. I was supposed to graduate 2011. I switched my major 3 times. I tried various, majors that really, are those kind of majors where you're like, oh, you're not going to do anything with your life. Like I was a communications major because I was a journalist. I was, the editor-in-chief of my high school newspaper in, Seekonk, Massachusetts. Really big deal. Really not. But I really liked journalism. I've always enjoyed writing. And then I had this English professor. Her name was Dr. Eskin in college. And she just really motivated me to become an English major. So I did that for a few years. And then I think it was my 3rd year in school. And I was doing a drawing outside of the art department. And I didn't realize that it was right outside of where the head of the art department's office was. And I didn't know him. I didn't know any of this. So this dude, he walks out of his office and he's this long brown hair.
Yeah.
And, he walks out and he's just he looks at me, he looks at my drawing and he looks at me again. He's like, who are you? And I was like, hi, I'm Jenna. And he's like, you're not an art major. And I was like, no, I'm not. And he's like, you should be an art major. I'll be right back. And so he leaves and he goes to some meeting or something that he had going on, And
you just continue drawing.
Yeah, I continue drawing.
Yeah.
I continue drawing for a couple hours. He comes back up the stairs and he's, we get into this odd conversation from what I remember about we're talking about how I have long toes. And, he just had a daughter. She has long toes. He has long toes. So we got into this toe conversation. And somehow after that kind of, manifested into me becoming an art major. Yeah.
There's some kind of metaphor in there. I'm still trying to figure it out.
I still haven't figured it out. Yeah.
There's a joke. I'm going to work that out.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. Well, like the first thing that kind of popped into my mind, just because I've been to both north and south of the East Coast, is like how the transition was coming from a place where you spent basically your whole life up north and then transitioning to Florida. Like, how was that transition for you? I mean, was it even like a hard transition?
It was a culture shock.
Yeah.
It was a culture shock. Anyway, the name of that professor who actually wanted to be my boss later on is Bill Otremsky. And he's awesome. Shout out to Bill. Hey, Bill.
Hey, yo, Bill.
We were just texting the other day. I'm like, hey, get me a mural job in Florida. I want to visit, and like he's working on it. So like, it'd be really cool to visit again. I'd really enjoy that. Yeah, Otremsky, he was a huge, like he just motivated me to like get better and taught me how to paint and everything. But anyway, so yeah, the moving to Florida was a huge culture shock, coming from New England and living up there and growing up there. And I mean, yeah, it's hot. I get that. I'd be walking to class in October. I'd be like, what the fuck? Why is it so fucking hot? Why am I sweating?
Right, yeah.
I got that issue here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, into, like, November, I'm just like,
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm a cold-natured person. Like, it takes a lot for me to get hot. So it was hot.
Yeah.
It was, like, probably 100 degrees or something. But yeah, so it was weird because I go to restaurants and stuff, and they're like, sweet tea. I'm like, what the hell is sweet tea? I was like, is that like Nestea or something? I don't get it.
No.
Because I grew up drinking Nestea, the can.
Yep.
The little the cans with the little, it had sweetener in it.
It wasn't until like not too long ago you couldn't go to like McDonald's and get sweet tea up north. You couldn't even get a damn biscuit until probably the last 2 decades.
Can you get a biscuit up there now?
Yes.
Wow. I heard you can get sweet tea up there now too.
Like the whole menu went.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is insane.
Yeah.
I actually learned something new about the McDonald's menu. They had this thing called the I don't know. I forgot what it's called. McScribbler or something like that. It's a Hot Pocket.
Yeah.
McScrambler? I don't know. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
The South expanding is what we're trying to say.
Oh yeah.
In menus everywhere. That's
think
cool.
That's like the whole like conglomerate thing is like they're trying to push obesity into the
they're like it's all in the South. Let's put it up north too. let's give more to them, more sugar.
And then once it reaches like Canada, we're gonna push it to the west.
Oh, I see. Past the pond.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, the pond being the continental U.S. And actually, recently they opened one in Moscow.
Well, past the pond.
But let's get away from that.
Yeah. Anyway, McDonald's.
Fucking it up.
So the sweet tea thing. Oh, yeah. And also, of course, me being, in college when I was an English major specifically, like that, like really made me. I've always been a stickler for grammar. I know that I don't always speak it as much as I'd like to because I think faster than I talk.
Yeah.
And then it's just, I have trouble keeping up with myself.
Right.
I don't know.
You're an
so
artist.
the whole sweet, unsweet thing. Yeah. I'm all over the place and ADHD as hell. So I apologize in advance.
You're good.
But, what was I saying? See, and here I am losing my.
We're talking
sweet,
about
unsweet tea.
Yeah.
Sweet and unsweet tea. So they say unsweet, and I'm like, you mean unsweetened? And they're like, no, unsweet. And I was like, no. No, you have this wrong. It's unsweetened.
Yeah.
This
is the fight that I should have right now. Like, this is worth it. We need to get this fucking thing right.
I just had to put it out there, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're crazy," and I was like,
"It's like so common. It's like it's that huge misconception."
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. I never actually thought about it.
But
I'll
it's
be honest with
societally
you.
acceptable to just say sweet, unsweet at this point. It's a societal norm, I guess, especially in the South.
Literally never thought about that, but you're right.
But you would never say that up north. You just like, can I have an iced tea? Like that's all you say. I want an iced tea.
I don't even say ice. I was like, yo, I got tea.
See, I mean, you could say that too.
Yeah, and that. Yeah,
the fact that you say y'all though.
Well, so.
They already know.
But they get it.
Yeah, they get it. They get it.
Well, you say y'all? You say y'all?
Yes.
Yeah, you say y'all? No.
Not really.
Yeah.
It sounds a little off when I say it.
He's more like, you'll have...
So you're originally from...
I'm originally from Moldova, which is basically usually I just tell people I'm from Russia. Because
Well, I actually figured that out. But yeah. It's probably good to say to most people because I'd be like, but where? Is it in Greensboro? What does that mean?
Moldova's like going out towards like Troy.
Yeah.
North Carolina shit.
Yeah, very cool.
Hell no.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, so you're in Florida, and you kind of have this transition.
What year was the art major thing? Like you said, was it your third year?
Or I think I think it was my third year, and Bill could probably remember exactly when that was, but I think it was my third year. I was like my junior year.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have graduated if I stayed in English major. I wrote a 33-page paper on an 83-year-old Jewish woman.
So you wrote a
for
book.
It kind of felt like it, but it was I did a biography on an 83-year-old Jewish woman who was the first female president of her temple, Temple Emmanuel in Lakeland, Florida.
That's awesome.
It was really cool.
You know, Jewish?
Yeah, she was really cool. I'm not Jewish, but I took a class on Judaism for my biography class that I took for my 400 level English course. And so it was really cool. Like, I went to her house and she made me homemade biscotti.
Hell yeah.
And she was like,
she's treating you right.
Yeah, she was in her 80s. She was just like, I just went to her house and we're sitting there and I'm recording her talking.
Did you compliment her mezuzahs? You got to compliment the mezuzahs every time.
Oh, yeah, I probably missed that.
Oh,
yeah,
don't trip on the mezuzahs.
But she was sweet. She was really nice. And it was a fun project. And I loved the class and everything. It's just, after doing all that, it's, I was kind of rethinking everything, and I was like, I don't know, what do I really want to do? Who am I? What do I, what am I going to do with the English major?
Going into the metaphysical.
Right.
Who am I?
Right. And I was like, let the universe take it,
Oh, that's when art came in the picture. Whenever you start asking yourself that question, art usually just...
Yeah, and I mean, I grew up drawing. I like to say I grew up a Hasbro kid. So my dad...
The toy company Hasbro?
Yeah. So my dad, he used to work for Hasbro when I was really little. And that's why I was born in Maine. When I was maybe 6 months old or so, we moved from Maine to Rhode Island. So that
Did you get free toys?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I got all the free toys. See, this is why I played with things and I drew more than I never even wanted to watch TV really. I mean, I watched very little TV. I wasn't allowed to watch much TV, and my parents couldn't we didn't have cable until I was 9 maybe.
Yeah. My jealousy just hit. I didn't get no free toys. My parents was on the drugs. I was on the welfare. I didn't get ice cream on Fridays. It was whack.
Ice cream
you can make your own toys, imagination,
Yeah.
Sticks.
Kids can do that. Yeah, I was going to say that.
Well, I mean, I definitely went out and played with dirt and bugs and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I didn't have a whole lot growing up, but I had a lot of toys.
Got them Hasbro.
Yeah, I grew up in Pawtucket. They call it the bucket of Rhode Island because it is.
Hell yeah.
Also, that's where the Paw Sox play. Go Sox. Just have to say.
Some local shit.
Yeah, well, I'm a Red Sox fan, so they're the division below the Red Sox.
Oh.
So yeah, that's where the Paw Sox play is Pawtucket. They were talking about moving them somewhere else, and I'm like, so they're not going to be the Paw Sox anymore. They're going to be the whatever else sucks.
Whatever sucks.
Something
sucks.
Something
sucks or socks?
Something sucks.
Sucks?
Socks.
Yeah, like the Red Sox.
On your feet. The Red Sox. Red Sox.
The Red Sox.
So
Are you a Yankees fan?
Not at all.
Okay, good.
I was gonna say he doesn't have anything.
Actually, I've been to the Grasshoppers games 3 or 4 times. I went to a Giants game at Giant Stadium once.
Oh, cool.
You talking about the New York Giants?
No.
The what Giants? Are we talking baseball still?
Yeah.
Oh, San Francisco Giants.
Yeah. Out in California.
It's weird how they use the same, they use Giants for this sport and then Giants for that
sport.
And
then it flips another state.
And then people talk about it, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, what sport? What sport?
It's what's the context of the conversation?
Yeah.
Say something about a bat. I'm like, okay, it's baseball.
And then I've been to some smaller league games in Norfolk for the Roll Tide or whatever the hell they call it. But I am not a huge sports fan. I usually get pulled into it, and all I do is sit there and eat and drink, and I'm having the time.
That's the culture, though, you know.
Oh yeah.
So right
absolutely.
I'm walking out. I'm like, who won?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I was talking about being a
creativity,
Hasbro kid.
Yeah.
So both my parents dabbled in art. Growing up, my dad, he worked for Hasbro, so it's I used to see the sketches that he would do down we had a basement with all my toys and all my shit everywhere. And then I just remember there being this table where he used to do his drafting stuff and draw stuff. He used to hand draw the GI Joes for Hasbro before graphic design was a thing.
Hell yeah.
So
when you
dad,
actually still had to have talent.
Yeah.
Did I Did I say that? Oh shit.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. So like, my dad's always been good at that, and my dad is actually one of the few graphic designers, that doesn't have a degree because he never needed one. Because
we're talking about grassroots.
They didn't have a degree.
Right.
It was just a thing.
It was just a thing.
Yeah. And so anyway, they like as a Hasbro kid and watching him draw. Like I learned how to draw at a very, very young age, and I started getting really into. I remember I had this one book. It was like a Marvel comic. I think my dad knew somebody out of that did some of the Marvel stuff. Like knew somebody that did that stuff, and so I had this like Marvel comic drawing the figure book, and I was drawing this female superhero. To this day, I can't remember who it was. I'm sure my dad could remember if I asked him, but I started drawing that. And my mom grew up painting and stuff, and she always did crafts with me. I like to say that my mother Stewart was like that. My mother was like a Martha Stewart without the jail time.
Yeah.
That's what I like to say. It's very friendly, delightful, blonde lady, very sweet, very kind, very like, oh, let's do this. Let's make this stuff. Let's cook this thing. Let's make this stuff out of clay. This. I grew up with that kind of mom.
So a sweetheart.
Yeah, she was a sweetheart. She still is a sweetheart.
Mm-hmm. And like, actually, really like reinforcing like the personal development.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was always a very hands-on kid.
I know a ton of people that like aren't hands-on, and their parents were never hands-on with them, and they're lost. No offense, guys.
It's what it sounds like is your parents. I mean, did your parents like support the change in direction?
Yeah, like 100%, and I'm so grateful too, because like honestly, most parents would be like, "You want to be an art major? No, you're going to law school. Fuck you." Like, no. Yeah. But my parents are like, "All right, Jen, well, if that's what you want to do," and as my mother always says, Jen, for whatever reason, you always figure it out. Like she never really worries about me kind of losing my way. Even I could be at the bottom of the barrel and like be like, "What am I going to do?" I always figure it out. I've been in some crazy
you're
situations.
resilient.
Yeah, resilient. Yeah.
Make it work.
We all have our ups and downs, and you have to ride the wave. You can't, try to move against the current. It just doesn't work in life.
I agree.
It's got to kind of go
with
the
it,
flow.
Right.
Yeah.
It's your birthday.
Yes. Beer is amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know what the gravity on this is because it's hard to read this font.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna make it a mystery.
It's a very mystery shitty read.
Just react to it the more you drink,
Oh yeah.
Now you're sipping. This beer is a mystery.
As we all take a sip. So
except for you didn't do it.
No.
So
gotta drink that shandy, that Dell's.
Yeah.
That Dell's lemonade. That's everybody from Rhode Island knows what Dell's is. He's drinking a Narragansett Dell's shanty. So, have you ever had a Dell's lemonade? I mean, you're probably gonna say no if you've never been to Rhode Island.
Well, he put me on.
Yeah.
No, but an actual Dell's lemonade, not the beer.
So, I lived in Connecticut for a bit, and I would go chill in Rhode Island.
Yeah, so Yeah. That real stuff, and they have the
you
actual like lemon rind in there, little pieces.
And then you go to the beach, you can there's all these little spots with I don't know, I wouldn't call them sailors, they're fishermen technically, and they bring in all the lobster, you eat the lobster rolls, and you're walking around, you're doing the New England thing, and you're like, oh yeah, it's really fucking awesome, guys. Oh wow, I've never had a fucking day like this.
You gotta work on your accent a little bit, but you're close. You're close.
You're almost there, dude.
And my mom, my stepdad, they sound like Family Guy. I don't know if you watch Family Guy, but yeah. Of course you do. I love that show. I love it, but it's so funny because I get all the little inside jokes about Rhode Island that other people don't get.
Yeah.
They have this one episode where Brian, the dog, is teaching at this delinquent high school for all these shit students, and and they're smoking in class and doing crazy shit, and it was Buddy Cianci High School, and he was a corrupt governor in Providence, Rhode Island. It's this big story. But most people don't know about it, but
you get the references.
It would just be a straight references. Oversight.
Yeah.
Well, let's focus a little bit more back on your art. Because what I want to ask you is, so you have the change in direction in terms of going from communications to English and English to art. And how is that transition going from English to art while you're in school? Because essentially you're going from program to program.
Right. So completely switched
new
programs.
teachers. new kids all around you, working on new stuff. I mean, did you make friends that you're still friends with to this day through that?
Oh,
did your art kind of like completely go from like a level where you kind of slightly understood art to like, holy shit, I'm actually like learning about what I've been doing for my whole life, or like, how did that work?
Yeah, I don't know. Like the transition was fairly simple. I mean, like I already knew my advisor, who was, Bill, who walked up to me in the hallway.
Yeah.
Everybody called him Otremsky. So in college, everybody was like, Otremsky. That was his name. That's what everybody called him. Not Professor Otremsky, just Otremsky.
Right.
Because who else has the fucking last name Otremsky?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Right.
So he had like Otremsky.com.
Sounds like like a Russian Jew.
No, it's like the Godzilla.
I really hope he listens to this. I'm gonna send this to him.
I'm Jewish, so I can say that. All right.
I'm glad you said it. I'm not saying that.
Yeah. But
I believe he said it was German. I think it's German.
That too.
It's German.
It can be German as well.
Yeah.
There's
I could be wrong. Sorry, Bill. Anyway, but yeah.
Bill, if you do end up watching this, I would like for you to comment in the section below somewhere on the YouTube channel. And just let me know. Let me know, because I don't know. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Clear the air for us, buddy.
Yeah. Anyway, so he became my advisor, and he's a very like laid back individual. It's very easy to work with him, and it's like some professors can be like a little high strung and a little weird and not really care about what you're doing, but like he was very like with every student, he was always very like, okay, what do you want to do? What kind of path do you want to? It's like, you're probably gonna need to be here next year. Do you want BA or BFA? And I was like, he's like, well, if you're thinking about going to grad school one day, maybe BFA is the way to go. So I didn't know what I wanted to do, because I mean, who does at that age? No. I wish that I could go back. Honestly, I wish I could go back in time and take, classes in the art department again, just to do better.
Yeah.
Try harder. I was a bartender. I partied hard and I worked hard. I did both.
Yeah.
But I feel like I should have had a more delicate balance. But then again, I went to school in Florida.
That's true. That is true.
After being like the nerd, like sheltered, like angel child growing up. And then I went to Florida. And then I just what the hell?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw my bit into the hat and say no regrets.
yeah, no regrets.
Period.
It's one of my favorite little memes. The tattoo with no regrets.
Not even a single letter. Not even one.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly though, like I wouldn't change anything the way that it's happened. My road just kind of changed, direction a few times, and I had to kind of feel my way through college, which I feel like a lot of students do that.
That's what I did.
You have to feel your way through, because if you wind up in a department, you realize you fucking hate it. Why would you stick with it? What? Because your parents want you to?
They're not going to be living.
They're not going to be living your life. Right? Fuck them. I mean, love your parents. Love your parents, but seriously, I'm talking like Gary Vee right now. I follow a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk, and he's like, "Fuck what your parents think." Yeah. I listen to him a lot. I'm sorry, it just comes out.
How old were you when you went to college?
18. I graduated when I was 17, technically, but then like shortly after I turned 18.
So like I was almost 10 years older than you when I went to college and started in the same boat. Like that's the thing, is like you're basically like when you like go to sign up for classes, like in my opinion, you're like you're at gunpoint. You're just like, this is what I want to do. For sure.
Yeah. And this is what my whole life will encompass.
Right. You expect an 18-year-old to know exactly what the fuck they want to do with the rest of their life?
Yeah.
Do you realize like what percentage of your life 18 is?
Well, speaking of this,
hopefully about 20% or 25%. Yeah.
I think how long you want to live.
Hopefully,
we have a perfect episode. Speaking of this, episode 36. You guys should check it out. This is exactly what we talk about. We talk with a good kind of friend of ours about this same scenario.
College educator.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's the guy, the UNCG professor. Yeah, I listened to that episode. I listened to the majority of that episode. I don't know if I got to the very end, but yeah, it was very thoughtful. It's like he's very passionate about like getting students to where they need to do.
Yeah, like honestly figuring out what the fuck you actually want to do.
Right, and I mean, some people still don't know like. when they're 40s, 50s, 60s even. They're like, I still don't know. And I would never want anyone to be that person.
Right.
That doesn't know what they want to do. But it's not that they don't know what they want to do necessarily. It's that they don't believe that they can do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And that's like what I really want to focus like my life on is, I want to focus on my artwork and make these cool big paintings that like inspire people and make them go, oh, cool. You know, but then I also like I love doing this whole YouTube channel that I have. Jenna Art is my YouTube channel, and I love doing this channel and just teaching people how to do things. And also, like I want to have more videos just explaining about like you can be a full-time artist. Like this whole starving artist thing that people put in our minds. You know, growing up, they're like, oh, if you're going to be an artist, you're not going to make any money. You're going to wind up homeless, sleeping on your friends' couches. It's like actually today. This is a big day for me. Today is the 1-year anniversary of me being a full-time artist.
Good for you.
That is today. So that's actually kind of cool. Cheers. Yeah, drink to that. Yeah, so not only is it St. Patty's Day. I was kind of forced into it, but it's interesting the way that it happened.
You were forced into full-time artistry?
Kind of, yeah. The pandemic, you know? But I'm glad. I'm glad though.
So what's the story with that?
So the story with that is, so it's actually kind of an interesting story. I was bartending at the Bearded Goat in downtown Greensboro.
Right on.
And I had been there for a couple of years or so.
I love that place.
Yeah, isn't it great?
I was actually
going to seen you guys there before.
I was actually going to compliment you because I know that you did some work on this place.
Yeah.
And the window goats. Those are my favorite.
I did a lot of the window paintings and stuff, and the mini boards, and a couple of the paintings outside, and things of that nature. And like I always enjoyed like doing the art, you know, course as like a supplementary to me being a bartender. But
I do love your window goats.
You know, thanks. Those are fun. Those are fun goats.
They
the cool. Summer goats. Were they the summer goats or did you like the winter goats? Were they the skiing goats?
They weren't skiing.
Okay. Those are good too.
They were like brown and they just had these like these
hilarious
looks
faces.
On them. Yeah. These looks and like you just...
Actually I based them off of like characters that I would see in the bar, but I didn't really tell anybody. So like there was this one guy, his name was Dave. I doubt he'll listen to this, it's fine. But yeah, and he just had this like
there's also a lot of Daves
kind
out
of
there.
Droopy look to him, you know, a little bit, I guess. Anyway. And so like he was like the droopy eyed one that was like on top of the barrel, just like, hey, I'm here.
He kind of walk around looking like the dude from Popeye begging for a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
That's poor guy. Sorry,
poor guy.
Dave.
Anyway, but
cheer up, Dave. We're here for you.
Yeah. So it is funny how it happened. Like, so I actually that particular day, it was a Tuesday. It was St. Patty's Day, and I had a meeting planned with my boss. I had kind of a bad weekend before that, and you know he kind of could tell that I was like not okay. Like I was not in a good mood. It's because I was painting at Cheesecakes by Alex at the time, and so I was getting up every day at like 5 a.m. I was going to go paint. I was painting at Cheesecakes by Alex, drinking like all of the coffee, which thankfully they gave me, you know, as a complimentary to me being there and doing the art, which I was like, wow, you're just gonna. Right. So obviously I tipped whoever made it, but
grabbing that pro bono,
that was amazing. It was great. Yeah. I loved that.
But caffeinated up your ass.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah. And then like 3 o'clock would come around, and then I'd have to go open the bar and work until like, you know, we'd be open until 12. So I'd be there till like 1.
Wow.
I go home, I go to sleep, and I go back and I do it all over
4
again.
hours.
And I did that for like at least a week and a half before St. Patty's, and then we had like St. Patty's weekend. And it was like I worked a really long shift, and it was a lot, you know, and I was like, man, it's like I know that I can work, you know, and make money, but it's like some days you make money, some days you don't. It's like with you know, bartending, there's always that. You never really know. Right. With the holidays and stuff, yes. But you never really know any other random Monday or Tuesday if you're going to make anything, you know, or anything that's worthwhile. And I mean, I loved working there. I loved just working for Seth at the Bearded Goat. Like, he's the best bar boss I've ever had.
Which one was Seth?
Seth is, well, if I say the bearded guy, that really doesn't help.
Was he the large man?
All bearded.
Like, the large man with, like, typically, like, shaved sides or, like, bald?
Oh, no.
And, like, the crazy beard?
Yeah, bald. Well, just the long, big beard, glasses.
Who had
his eyes smile?
Dog?
He's very sweet. He's very, very kind.
I'm sure I've seen him.
Very nice guy. Yeah.
There was that one dude that walked around like the Viking guy. Like,
oh, that's Chris Kelly. Yeah, no, he's not the owner. No.
Okay.
He's just a Viking. Yes.
Sick.
He and I have the same size hands. We do. Slap the shit out of him. I have really big hands. Oh, man. Anyway, it's like a joke that I like to make all the time. Yeah?
Wow.
Yeah.
I got you, hands.
Yeah. You do got me. Not everybody does. It's pretty insane.
Double jointed?
Oh. Yeah. I mean, a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Definitely like
a little bit. I mean, not as much as you, but it's there.
And then like they all do the.
Oh yeah. I mean, no, not as much. Not as much with the fingers. Right. You gotta be careful with those. I have to use those for painting.
Your bread and butter right there.
Yeah. Anyway, totally got off track here.
So you slapped him?
No.
Oh. Okay.
No, I would never do that. I like him. He's cool.
I thought you guys were like.
He doesn't work there anymore.
Go slap Happy at the goat.
I always enjoyed working with that motherfucker. I was, he just had this way about him, this attitude that was really cool. Like he was just like very like I really don't give a fuck, but then like you could tell that he actually gives a fuck. He's like he had this like persona that was just like
he's like all right,
he had this like fuck you persona.
But on the inside,
that's not Seth. That's Chris. But Seth was great. I loved working there, and I had actually planned on quitting that day because he wanted to talk to me about like things, and I was like, okay. Well, at the same time, I was like, you know what? I just really, want to quit. I was like. Because every time I'm like, I want 1 or 2 shifts a week, somebody's on vacation, somebody gets sick. They're like, oh, Jenna's just doing art all day. She can cover my shift. Sure. So then they ask me. And then it's like, I'm just nice. And I feel bad and I feel obligated. And I'm like, well, I'm the only other person that can open the building with the keys and the stuff. And I don't want to have my boss go out of his way to do the things. It was like, I didn't own the place. I didn't like, but I just felt obligated. And so everybody kind of put that pressure on me. And I was like, if you just don't make a fucking decision to just go do what you want to do, then you're never going to do it. There's never going to be a right time. Because I was like, maybe when I save up this X amount of money, then I'll do it.
Yep.
Maybe when I do, when I feel like I'm ready, I'll do it. But you never ever going to feel ready. You're never going to have enough money. You're never going to have enough time.
Yep.
You're never going to have that moment where it's the right time. Like there's not like some like, you're not going to wake up and fireworks are going to go off. This is the day. Yeah. No, it doesn't happen like that.
Signal from the universe.
This is not Disney.
I wasn't necessarily ready for it. I wasn't ready for it, but it just like, they laid everybody off that day. Because he's like, hey, I have to delay our meeting. Or I have to meet with you after because I need to have a meeting with everyone. And with everything with the pandemic going on, I was like, oh, I know exactly what the fuck's going to happen.
This is when that shit started just popping off.
Yeah.
Was this like March?
This was the actual St. Patty's Day last year. So this is the 1 year anniversary today.
Oh, shit. Okay. That's okay. All right.
Today's a big day. So when you said the 17th, I didn't think about it at first. They're like, oh, how does the 17th work? And I was like, oh, that's cool. Whatever. And then like a week or so goes by and I was like, hold on. It's St. Patty's Day. That's the anniversary of like the pandemic bullshit. This is the day that they shut all the bars down last year.
Wow.
So it was kind of a big deal. It's like everyone lost their jobs. Everyone's freaking out. Nobody wants to touch each other.
Yeah.
Right. It was like when everybody was like super extra scared and
that's when people were wearing gloves.
That's when that's when people started developing like all like the crazy handshakes, the elbows, and like
all kinds of weird shit.
You think that's gonna be a norm now?
The heel clickers.
Clickers?
Yeah, people like wouldn't even use their arms; they would just tap feet.
They're kicking each other.
Well, like just heels, feet, like goats or something.
Mary Poppins shit.
I'm gonna start tapping people with my feet. Just be like, hey, what are you doing?
Clacking with the side of your heel.
I heard it's a new thing.
Yo, what's up?
That's when TikTok started fucking exploding.
Yeah. I definitely think that COVID really. Oh man,
took that shit off.
It blew TikTok up.
Well, I mean, people were bored at home. I wasn't bored. Actually, I stayed busy.
Yeah.
Actually, I've had more work during COVID than I've ever
had
about for art. Yeah.
Let's talk about it. I want to talk about you getting into art full time.
Yeah.
And how the hell that was.
Yeah. So I just jumped into it. Nice. I just jumped into it. Like I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to do art full time. I didn't have the money saved up, everything, but I just had this feeling. I was like, I just have to fucking do it. And so I decided to do it. And like, at first I was like, well, I had this money in the bank account. I was finishing, actually, while that whole thing started, I was still finishing up this mural at Cheesecakes by Alex downtown Greensboro. And so that was fun because it was like, I kind of like quarantined myself within Cheesecakes by Alex on one side. And they were still open for like to-goes on the other side. But it was like, I was able to put up plastic and kind of like keep myself in this room alone. Because he had actually added on, Alex had actually added on like an extra room.
The secondary. It's actually run by a guy named Alex.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did not know that.
He actually
Why would it be called Cheesecake by Alex?
Cheesecakes by Alex.
I didn't know that.
His name is Alex.
I thought it was just a cool name.
Well, it is a cool name. He's a cool guy. Actually, he's like one of the sweetest. He's one of the sweetest business owners in the city. Absolutely, hands down. Yeah. He's wonderful. And he actually has a shirt. It says, "I am Alex." It's a Cheesecakes by Alex shirt.
That's awesome.
It's fantastic. I love it when he wears that shirt. I really hope he watches this.
I laughed a little too hard for that one.
It's great, though. I love it.
That's fucking sick.
I am learning all kinds of... So people know
he's Alex.
Yeah. I'm learning so much shit.
Yeah.
This is actually kind of wild, because like you're not from here. I'm not technically from Greensboro.
Mm-hmm.
Eden boy.
I'm not even technically from North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Well, Myrtle Beach, but Eden boy.
But I feel like you know so much more about this area than like either of us. I would not have guessed that Cheesecakes by Alex was owned by a guy named Alex.
You, man.
I've come to learn Greensboro. I mean, through the commissions I've had, through the clients that I've gained. Like, I've made friends with a lot of my clients, and we still talk and chat and hang out sometimes. Like, I do a mural for this one guy, and it's like we still talk. It's like one of my good friends, Dusty Keene. Shout out, what's up? I know he'll like that. But yeah, and Michelle, I love you. Anyway, you know, they own Common Grounds, it's a coffee shop in Greensboro, and so I sold. I think was it my first painting sold in? No, it wasn't my first painting sold in Greensboro, but it was my first like I started this whole like colorful portrait thing. It was like. You know, I have these videos on YouTube. Like I have these videos on YouTube of like these canvas paintings that I was painting with like acrylics and like trying to.
That was my next question. Yeah. Acrylic, oil, watercolor.
These are acrylic because it's faster.
God.
It's cheaper. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
See, he goes into like, is it this, or this? I'm like. Wall art.
Yes, canvas on the wall. Like, yes. Like, not wall. You can say wall art, and it can be mural too.
See, like when I say wall art in my head, it's like something you put on the wall.
Mm-hmm. And yes. That's true.
And my idea of like a mural is like it is.
Yes, it becomes the wall.
It becomes to me. It becomes the space.
It does.
Right? It's not just
the
wall.
It fills the space. Like, it fills the space.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, you get what
I know where you're coming from.
Anyway, so Dusty, he really loved this painting that I did of Bill Murray, and he was like my first like.
I think we've seen it. Yeah, we've definitely seen it.
Yeah.
He commented on it. He was like, "Wait, is that Bill Murray?"
Not actually commented, like social media commented.
No, like
in person. Yeah.
I was like.
It's one of the best places to get coffee around here, so why wouldn't you go there?
Yeah. And they also have like super cool names for.
Yeah.
Oh man, I always get the what's his name?
Elvis?
No. The guy that
Well, there's a Robin Williams painting in there, but I didn't do that one. That one's by a Miami artist that whose name is still unknown. Dusty's like, I totally forgot his name. So Michelle's like, yeah, I forgot his name too. Like, sorry, guy.
Unknown.
We'll figure his name out eventually. I feel like he needs a little thing next to his painting so like we can show who that is because next to my two paintings there, I have two paintings there now. Yeah. Anyway, so my first painting that I did, Bill Murray, he bought that.
Yeah.
He purchased that for me. It was like right after I posted it on Instagram. I'm still in my studio, still like hadn't washed my brushes, still like not done. He's like, I need that. I'm buying it. And I was like. I did. Like I already knew him.
Right,
like I met him through. I think I met him through my ex-boyfriend, something like that. And I was like, we had been around, you know, bar hopping type. You know, we see each other, run into each other here and there.
Inner circles kind of thing.
Yeah, inner circle kind of thing. And so, but ever since, like, he bought that paintings. Like, you know, he also bought the Leonardo DiCaprio. It was like a commission. It's actually Leonardo DiCaprio in spray paint on a giant 6'x7" canvas, drinking out of a coffee cup that says Common Grounds on it.
I love that.
That's like a realism type. It was cool. Yeah, and I did it in spray paints because it's my new thing.
How new?
But yeah, a little over a year I've been spray painting.
So what got you to transition from more of like a, I'll say classical, but it's really not even
the brushing style.
Yeah,
so like from that
completely different.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how many times I cursed at myself trying to learn spray paint. It's freaking difficult. Like it is not easy. And it's like they have like all these different caps and shit that I had no idea. Did you know this?
What do you mean?
So
caps?
They have like specialty.
What do you mean caps?
They have specialty cans, right, for like the high end spray paint. So like I don't buy my spray paint at Lowe's or Home Depot.
Why not?
Because it sucks.
Well, if you need a discount.
Okay, well, hey, I do like that. I mean, listen, I'll use like Lowe's and Home Depot, spray paint for like big fills,
right?
And like I'll use bucket paint for big fills and stuff like that. But
who's Big Phil?
He's my other buddy. He's my security guard.
He just gets the cheap work.
Oh yeah.
So Lowe's paint for him.
Yeah, it's okay. Anyway, but yeah, so I use like a Montana Gold spray paint for the most part, or
that's the company?
Or MTN 94. Yeah, they're two different companies, and they actually don't like each other. So I don't really know who I want to shout out. So I'm just going to shout out both of them. It's kind of like the whole like Coca-Cola Pepsi thing.
But like if one of them were to reach out to you, you'd probably be.
Oh, I would be all about one of them.
Yeah.
If one of y'all want to pick me up, what's up? I'm just saying.
Boy, howdy.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to eventually get my YouTube channel to a point to where I have one of them sponsoring me and either sending me free paint or things like that. Anyway, so spray paint's difficult. Like there are like hundreds of different kinds of caps. There are fat caps and skinny caps. It was like all how fine you want the line.
We're talking about the actual spray nozzle.
The little nozzle at the top. Yeah.
So that's not what I call a cap.
Okay.
What would it be?
The cap is the top, the lid you pull off to expose.
What would it be for you though?
What would I call that little spray nozzle? Yeah. Spray nozzle.
All right.
Anyway, so in the graffiti world,
so
we call them caps.
Okay.
So what kind of cap you got? You got New York fat cap. You got I usually use a New York fat cap or I use a for another fat cap. It's like a level 6 fat cap. It's like a green one with a little pink hole. But it's like there's so many of them, and I had to like learn this on my own. And then I realized also at the same time there's a void in the YouTube world for learning the very particular small things. Because like most artists will have like videos like time lapse and shit, and like I have more artists after I already created a few about like the doodle grid and like little things that I do that kind of like help me progress as a muralist. There are other artists starting to pop in there and like make videos about how they do things, but it's like I really want to do more on my channel about the little stuff, like even like little like quick little TikTok videos or Instagram reels about like this is like if you use a fat cap, this is like if you go close to the wall, it's like this. If you're away from the wall, it goes like this. The overspray is like this, because like certain caps like have like different oversprays and layering. Some are softer caps, some are hard caps, like hard lines and soft fills, and see me I was an oil painter, and I feel like learning oil painting really got me to be really good at spray paint in a weird way. Because it's like airbrush if you do it the right way.
I feel like
so I layer colors.
We're talking like attention to detail.
Yeah, I'm like I'm an attention to detail kind of girl. Yeah,
there's also a difference between like doing something. This is why I was asking you the question before with school. Like doing something, not knowing what you're doing. Like it's a difference between you as a kid, right? Just doodling from a comic book that you're doing, but you don't really understand what you're doing. But then when you go to school for it, you understand like, holy shit, this type of shading is called this. And, this contrast is called, you know what I mean? So there's all these different terminology or even the art history that comes with it. Like who popularized this type of shading, or when did this come about? Or it's same thing with kind of what you're talking about is you understand the background history and information behind all the shit that you do.
Absolutely. And that's so helpful. And, part of me is like, man, I really kind of wish I saved the $100,000. But at the same time, I learned a lot. And, the professors that I had were very inspiring and like very cool, chill people, and I just really just enjoyed learning. And
well, now you can teach,
and now I can technically, yes. However, I thought about doing it for a while, and I really just I was like, maybe I'll teach. It's like, because I'm good at it. I'm good at teaching.
YouTube.
I enjoy it.
You're doing it now.
But I can do it on YouTube and not have to be around any fucking kids.
Exactly. There you go.
And that's a win. Yeah. But I mean, my YouTube channel really isn't for kids, but it's I really want to strive to like young adults, people in their 20s, 30s, 40s. I mean, if you want to learn graffiti art, you want to learn, whatever style of, acrylic painting that I do.
I'm waiting until I hit my 60s before I start.
You really, you might want to start sooner because, there's this like painting stance. It's like it's a lot of leg work. It's a lot on your thighs and your knees.
I'm gonna do a lot of illegal shit.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's also hoping to be a robot at some point.
Okay.
Whenever technology
advances. That is true.
You have some big goals.
Yeah.
Big
so
goals.
I think it'd be really cool to have metal legs. Not like Lieutenant Dan metal legs.
I was going to say Lieutenant Dan.
Not like those metal legs. But like cyborg legs. I think those would be pretty fucking sick.
Mm-hmm.
We all gotta have dreams.
Big goals. Always gotta have dreams.
Yeah.
And then, realistic or not, it could happen. So I don't know.
You were saying there's a stance.
There's a stance. Yeah, you have to. It's like a squat. So it's like I don't have to do squats because I do that when I paint. Because like it's the level that you get. You have to level out with wherever you're painting, and it helps you keep a steady hand, and you can just move.
It's kind of like drawing a circle.
You have to move with.
I can't draw a circle.
Well, I mean, a lot of people just do this,
No. If you do that, it's never gonna be a fucking circle. You gotta keep your elbow in a certain point. You gotta have like it's a movement. Yeah. It's like a dance.
Yeah, I'm not good at either of those things.
You have to dance with it. But yeah, so gravitating towards graffiti was it was weird. It was different. It was a lot of fun at times. So like the beginning of the pandemic happened and I was bored.
Mm.
And this is when I really kind of blew up with the spray painting. And I was bored, and a friend of mine at the time, she and I went to this place called The Pit in High Point.
Mm.
It was my first time there, but it's like this place where like graffiti artists around know about.
Mm.
It's right by the train station off of High Street. Off of Main Street, High Street, this train station is like right.
It's not like a venue or anything, right?
No, it's like it's this shitty parking lot that like usually has glass, so you got to be careful. I guess like people congregate and
you can't go out there in Toms. You'll get
No.
Would recommend it.
I would never go paint there alone. Yeah, or after 6 p.m. Sun goes down. It's like don't be there alone. But I mean, for guys, probably you could probably get away with being there alone. But somebody sees me out there alone.
I don't like being alone. Though.
Could be in trouble.
I'm a lonely boy. Me and the mic get real close, and I'm like, oh, I'm on the show, and I'm scared. I'm here with 3 other people, 400 people, and I'm alone.
Oh,
and like,
so I'm definitely not going out at 6 p.m. by myself in the middle of nowhere.
But yeah, The Pit.
Yeah, it's not good. But yeah, The Pit. So yeah, I got I was just bored, like looking for something to do. I was like, hey, let's go to The Pit, and so like we went there. And I didn't know what to paint until I was thinking about it that morning, and I was like, I still don't know what to fucking paint.
That would be the hard thing for me.
See, that's the hard thing for me, and it still is because I wanted to paint everything. So it's kind of like going to a restaurant where you have like a 40-page menu.
Cheesecake Factory.
Why would you do that? Yeah, why the fuck? Why?
Yep.
Why?
It's bullshit.
That place bothers me. But I'm vegan. So
hell yeah.
So and I have been for 5 years now. So like going there, it's like I have a very limited menu. So limited menus. What's up?
They gotta help you. They got like 6 items.
I like that. Ooh, yeah, no cheesecake for me though. It's fine.
All right, okay. I need to ask about that. Was that like transition tough?
I was vegetarian most of my life, so actually, it's I feel like I'm very strong-willed individual. That's what I like to think. I like to think that.
That's how I feel too about myself.
Strong-willed.
And so like
if you want to do something, you have to put everything into it.
It was like
if you fuck up, it's your fault.
5 or 6 years ago, though, me and my friend Foy, we were doing this thing. Everybody from the show knows Foy, but I was trying to go a week without eating meat, and I had a really, really hard time. I did it.
Yeah.
It was fucking miserable.
Well, you need to wean yourself into it too.
But then, like, here lately, the last, like, I don't know, 6 months to a year, I found myself, like, not necessarily being so inclined to eat meat. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I'm cool with, like, rice and asparagus. Like, let's do that.
I do like rice.
You're better. You're a better man than me, man.
So, if I didn't like rice, there'd be a problem. My brother and I joke about this all the time.
I'm a jet to the pisser.
Yeah. Oh, you're good.
Wow, this never happens with, like,
I know.
We must be doing, like, is this the extended episode? Is that what this is?
This is beer and coffee.
God.
Cheers.
Such a big baby.
I have a small bladder too. It's fine.
I've got a hippo's bladder.
Usually alcohol could do that.
I could do this.
A hippo's bladder.
Yeah.
Usually people say camels.
No, I got it on the black market.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, cool.
Also, it's not in my body. I bought it. It's in a jar.
Oh.
I bought it when I was in Africa while I was in the Navy.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually I wouldn't support such, like, grotesque, like...
Right. It's weird.
Like, I guess markets.
Yeah.
But...
That is, it's very strange.
Definitely it was one of those, like, when in Rome kind of things. Because, like, that is their culture.
Right.
And, like, I feel like... Yeah. Why not?
Everyone's culture is different. We all accept things societally that are different, you know?
Yeah. So I bought a hippo's bladder.
Interesting.
It's really gross looking.
That's really gross.
You don't want to see it.
Very strange. No, I don't.
No.
Please don't. Please don't show me. But yeah, the transition really wasn't hard. I just, when I was 7, actually, and we're going to get back to the nurse painting here in a little bit. I'm just waiting for him to get back to the from the bathroom. So anyway, but yeah, it really, I was 7 when it started. One of my bunny rabbits, long story short, was mutilated in my backyard, and I saw the blood on the snow. And after that, I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm being a vegetarian. It was like I was the only one.
God, that sounds.
I was the only one that in my family, like, it was the first snow of the season.
It sounds like an AFI video.
I remember this vividly. It's like a horror movie. It's terrible. I was 7. Anyway, so I was, I was getting ready for school. It was first snow of the season. And it had snowed enough to where, like, I'm already ready for school, practically ready for school. And my dad's like, oh, you got a 2-hour delay. And, like, that's what happens up north. You get delays. Yeah. You don't close school down 2 fucking days ahead of time. I'm like, what is wrong with North Carolina? Like, they don't have the equipment. I get it.
That's also not true. They have it.
Well, they're lying.
They don't want to run the budget up. I see you, Roy Cooper, you son of a bitch.
Right?
Come fight me, motherfucker.
Well, I was thinking, why don't they have a rolling budget for this shit? Like, if it doesn't snow one year, then put it into the next year. I don't do this sort of thing. So, like, it's really, that would make sense to me.
Yep.
Anyway, whatever. Because, like, you can never expect it to snow a certain amount one year and not another year and, that sort of thing. And
you can't plan the weather.
You can't. You can't, especially North Carolina. They're really bad at predicting the weather here. Like, really, really bad at it.
It's a hardcore 50-50.
Yeah. Oh, my God. It's like, it's going to be nice or it's not. I mean, that's kind of like when you wake up in the morning, it's like, why even bother looking at the weather? It's going to be nice or it's not. It's 50-50 chance.
You missed us solving the mystery of the Great Sasquatch.
Oh, the Sasquatch, huh? This conversation took it there, huh?
For all of the non-YouTube listeners, Dima just walked back into the room.
Yeah, it's a rare moment where I have to...
Yeah. Usually it's like it's like hour 1.5.
Yeah. For the long ones. ones. Now, you've been shouting a lot of people out, and we have to, because you've done work for him, we have to shout out our good buddy, and I think that he would agree when we say a friend of the show, MARTY KOTIS.
Oh, okay, so he knows you guys. Oh, cool.
Yeah, we have
Hi, MARTY. Hi, MARTY. Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, if it weren't for him, honestly, I wouldn't be where I am right now. Like, he just saw my potential, and he saw how much I really wanted to learn and try and get better. Like, I just want to get better. Like, people are like, oh, you're amazing. You can do all this cool shit. And I was like, no. I was like, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. Nowhere near. But he's giving me the space and the supplies and the tools that I need to just practice and get better. And it's amazing. And he gives me these commissions and stuff. Like, so whenever I don't have something else going on, he's like, what do you want to paint? Let's have you paint it. Like, I want to do a Queen's Gambit piece. You watched Queen's Gambit?
Yeah.
Yes. Netflix, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm a chess boy.
So I was on the chess team in middle school.
You want to go?
Yeah. No. So yeah, I played a game of chess with Marty and failed. He looks like the chess kind of guy. He whooped my ass. Well, he also plays with his son Alex like all the time.
I'm gonna let this be a shout out again to Marty. I know we already shouted him out, and a challenge. Marty KOTIS, let's go.
Let's go. Oh, he's challenging you. He's very good at chess.
And he's doing finger guns. I think he gave me a pass.
Like, he could have beat me a lot sooner, probably.
Yeah.
But, I told him, I was like, listen, dude, I haven't played in 15 years. Like, this is going to be bad. So then we played this game of chess. I'm totally getting off topic here. Anyway, so we get into this game of chess, and we play this game of chess, and then, like, I had to remember where all the pieces were. I took photos of it, and then I took these, like, really high-quality photos of it, and I made them into murals on his office wall. And
I was wondering if
that was a difficult fucking they're really realistic. Like,
I think you saw them too, right?
Oh yeah.
So we checked them out
on Christmas Eve.
Actually, if you go to her Instagram page, it's like one of the first ones you'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, please, guys, Instagram, hook it up. What is it?
Yeah, Instagram. I'm at Jenna Rice Art. Website, www.jennariceart.com. YouTube, Jenna Rice Art. Facebook, Jenna Rice Art. So yeah, if you look up Jenna Rice Art on Google, you'll just find all the things.
This is true.
Snapchat, Jenna Rice Art. All the things. TikTok, Jenna Rice Art.
Jenna Rice Art. Go visit it.
Yeah, all the things.
There you go.
All the things. Plug. I try to, thank you. Thank you for the plug. Appreciate it. Anyway, so yeah, towards back to the mural story, how kind of everything with my art kind of took off.
Yep.
I didn't know what to paint when I went to the pit, and I was like, I'm a figurative person. I'm a figurative artist. I like doing figurative shit. I'm not a I don't do like cartoony style stuff. I don't do graffiti letters. Like, I want to learn that because I hear it's really good at like. Marty and I have talked about this a lot. Where that's how like Brian Lewis got so good is because like he got so good at his lines and his can control and everything just from doing graffiti letters. Mm-hmm. And I never even dove into that, but I want to learn it. I really do.
But you're coming from an art background.
I'm coming from like an oil painting background.
Right. And you're talking about diving into like this like grungy street scene.
Right.
And it's like, I'm wondering like this lettering, the graffiti lettering, is that considered like a form of calligraphy?
I wouldn't say calligraphy.
More like a script kind of thing.
Script, tag, I guess you could call it a tag. And I never had a graffiti name. See, Brian Lewis has JEKS.
Yeah, so
he came up with that a long time ago. But everyone knows me. I'm like, I probably can't get away with anything illegal. So why even fucking change my name?
This is the weird thing is like,
you know what I mean? Like, why would I bother? Like, you know, I'm Jenna Rice.
Right.
It's like even if I'm wearing the mask on, they're gonna be like, that's Jenna Rice.
You
got me. Sorry, guys.
Brian since I was like 15 or 16. Yeah. And then I heard JEKS coming around. I was like, I had no idea who that is.
I met him like 6 years ago. Actually, before he was doing a lot of the spray paint stuff. Yeah. It was kind of cool. Like, I just met him through other people and friends and like same circle type shit. And so like I kind of saw him progress in his career. And he was actually like Brian. And Brian, you are a huge fucking inspiration to me. You always have been. You always will be. Like, he's just so fucking talented. And like, but what I was seeing was like he was painting these things in spray paint, and I was like, dude, I can do that in fucking oil paint. Mm-hmm. I was like, I wonder if I could try that. And I was just like, I don't know. And like, I put it off, and I was like, I don't want to learn spray paint. That's stupid. Mm. I was like, I'm not a spray painter. I'm a painter. I have my degree in art.
That was like, coming out, right?
Yeah. And I was like. And then one day I was just like, you know what? And I saw how much money people were making and like how many people around town were so interested in getting murals for their businesses and whatever. And I was just like, I wanted to try it. I was like, I wanted to prove to myself that I could fucking do it,
She puts the helmet on. She's like, put me in, coach.
Yeah, it's like I want, like, people were saying, oh, you can do that. It's like, watch this shit. Hold my beer. So yeah, that's what I did. And anyway, so yeah, the nurse, so High Point, the pit, long story short, painted this nurse mural, and it fucking blew up. So I just found this photo of a nurse on Google, and I just went on Google, and I was like, I want to find some dramatic photo of a nurse. I can't remember what I Googled. It was dramatic nurse or like nurse with whatever. And so
just some Google shit.
I was just looking up Google and I was just looking through nurses and I really like high contrast photos because it really pops, you know. That's how I always was, like chiaroscuro. And
look at you
if you're talking about oil
painting,
painting, chiaroscuro. So I really
you got to explain that for Nick because
so chiaroscuro is a very high contrast in darks and lights.
Say
so
it really slowly.
A very high contrast.
No, what?
Chiaroscuro.
Now is it Italian?
I was hearing
curious girl. I believe so. It's chiaroscuro. It's one word. It's like
Yeah, I was hearing curious girl, and it doesn't make sense.
Chiaroscuro. It's a word that's not English.
Okay.
But it means high contrast in darks and lights. And actually, one of my favorite artists of all time, Rembrandt, it was one of his big things. You know, he very high contrast paintings, very, very high darks and lights. Just like, it's the very dramatic paintings that I like, the dramatic, you know. And I loved Artemisia Gentileschi, loved her paintings, very high contrast, chiaroscuro. And anyway, so I was like, I found this painting, or not painting, I found this photograph of this nurse. And so I painted it on the wall.
Not to cut you off.
No, you could.
Chiaroscuro.
How's it spelled?
CHIAROSCURO.
Yeah. I know it was CH something.
That's not even how I pronounce that.
I'm really good at spelling. I just have to write it down.
Yeah,
I didn't have paper.
I'm the same way.
You know?
I would be like chiaroscuro.
Churro.
It's
churro?
like
churro? It's like churros?
I love churros. But no, like so like the Brazilian steakhouse in town, LeBlanc.
Okay.
I used to call it a churrascaria because I couldn't pronounce churrascaria.
That's hilarious.
It's like, let's go to the churrascaria.
That's some southern shit.
I am such
yes, it is.
Yes, such an idiot. I am sorry.
That's great.
It's terrible.
Anyway,
so I posted that, and then like I'm getting all these likes and stuff, and you know that night I didn't post it until like it took me 8 hours to paint, and so I wanted to finish it. So the sun was already setting, so I left. The next morning, my phone is fucking blowing up, and I was like, "What is going on?" And I just like,
what do I do now?
Like all my social media is freaking out, and people are sharing it. Like I have more likes on this thing than I think I've ever had on anything prior to that. And I had news stations messaging me and calling me, and people like personally thanking me via, you know, social media, being like, thank you so much for painting this. Like, this means so much to us. Cause like, I did it as a tribute to the nurses.
Right.
And it was like a very high contrast for those of you who are not watching the video or have not seen it. Excuse me.
You could probably
it's a very high contrast. And you can find it.
Instagram.
You can find it on Instagram. Along with all of my other things at Jenna Rice Art. And that's JENNARICEART. Anyway, so yeah, it's on there. And so yeah, I was Channel 12 did like the best rendition of it. And I have that on my Instagram page, that video. And it was weird because it was like the beginning of the pandemic. And this guy on Channel 12, his name's Bill. I'm trying to remember his last name. Anyway, but he's like an amazing reporter. I love this guy. He's reported on me a few times for like window painting and like other random shit that I've done in town. But like he had to do like a virtual interview with me, which so like I was literally FaceTiming. So like I'm on TV FaceTiming myself with him in the corner, and I was just like, oh my god! And I had my sunglasses on because I've been painting all day, and I'm all like, I looked like shit. It was bad. And so I was like, I had to get at least I got a good angle though. I was like, okay, I look good. I like that. That's wonderful. I look good. This is great. But yeah, it was a very heartfelt story, tribute to the nurses. I named it The Light because they were kind of like the light in all the darkness that was surrounding us during this pandemic. You know, all this fear that was like encompassing all of our lives.
No shit. That was like when it first started.
That was when it first hit, and people are fucking scared. Like even I was wearing one glove, like Michael Jackson, to the fucking grocery store.
Luke Skywalker.
It's like anything I touched, I'd want to use the gloved hand, but if I'm touching my stuff and my wallet, and you know, I'd have to use the non-gloved hand. And here I am looking like.
And then the memes come out. You got the guy with the gloves eating the chips in the store.
See, that doesn't make this. people are so stupid. It's like, do you not know how germs work? I get it. If you're a kid, you don't understand how germs work. Like, I have to explain.
I don't know. I think there are some kids that are smarter than that asshole.
Some are. Right. Yes. Some are.
It's a case-by-case situation, but you're right.
So, you have to explain to kids how, like, germs work. Yeah. You know, you're like, you know, when you touch something, you leave your germs. Right. Yeah. When you, like, lick a spoon and you leave it on the counter, the germs multiply over time. Do you know that?
It gets grosser and grosser.
And grosser over time. And that's how people get sick.
It's also how you build antibodies for shit, though.
It is. It is.
So, like, between the ages of 1 and 6, eat as much dirt and wild random shit as you can. Like, random debris, put it into your body. But then after that, cut that shit the fuck out because it's fucking gross.
Because you could get away with it up until 6.
Yeah. Beyond that, nah, dog.
Right.
You're spinning wheels.
Yeah, exactly.
And you make it very unlikely that anyone wants to hang out with you.
Yeah.
For sure.
Saving you a lot of heartache. Oh man. Yeah, but yeah, nurse. And then it took off. And what happened after that? Did that help you kind of like get into it, like seeing all of that support?
Yeah, seeing it was just it's kind of overwhelming, and that's just where it started. Mm-hmm. And it blew up even more from there because I had this one guy, Maury Kennedy. He's like a local photographer, and he had this thing that he was doing called Feed the Nurses, or Feed the Frontline. He like started this whole like charity thing.
Yeah.
And called Feed the Frontline, and like they wanted to sell T-shirts to raise money, you know, for this project. Because they're like, the nurses are working double time. They're working extra hard. Right. Not only are they taking care of the people that are already sick and already, you know, dealing with their own shit, but also with the pandemic on top of that. So it's like, you're working double time. Right. Like, you're working extra hard and you're extra stressed out and you're extra like nervous and like, you know, I get that. I understand that. Like, one of my old roommates and really good friends I've had for very many years, Renee, like she was in Florida. She was a nurse, and I just saw how stressed out she was. Like, she's just like, just being a nurse itself is a lot, you know? Mm-hmm. Working even crazy hours and just like, even without the pandemic. So I was like, they just really deserve this tribute. Anyway, so I just, you know, he talked to me about the T-shirt thing, and I was like, I didn't want to ask for any monetary support for it or anything. So I was like, yeah, I was like, totally. I was like, and Triad Paw Prints here in Greensboro is the one that like produced the shirts, and like made, you know, put my painting on the back of the shirt from the painting from High Point. So then they started selling those. And so everybody that paid $10 towards that, like, went towards, you know, money for a nurse's lunch. Yeah. It's a lot more complicated than that. There's a lot more to it that like I didn't deal with, but like people asked me all the questions, so it's a little overwhelming. But yeah, I said, yeah, cool. Use my image for the T-shirt, and just I guess use the image for the T-shirt, and just have my name on there, just at Generous Art. That's all that I need on there. Right. And so then they did that, and then it blew up, and then it's like
just got bigger and bigger.
And then like there are people from all over the country that have bought this shirt.
That's awesome.
It's crazy. Like my mom has like this friend who like her daughter, she and I were friends growing up and everything, and so like my shirt's in California. It's like my shirt's, you know, in New England in several places because I have family up there and this and everything, and they're everywhere. You know, it's really cool. And so actually the hospital was just asking me the other day, actually yesterday, for more shirts.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I messaged Jen, her name's at Triad Paw Prints, Jen Dunn, and she's making more for them, but she's dealing with all that. Basically, I just give them her info, and I'm like, there you go. But then after that, Maury Kennedy, this photographer, contacts me again. He's like, hey, I have an idea. And I was like, okay. And he's like, how would you feel about recreating the mural somewhere where the nurses and doctors and healthcare workers can see it?
Because they're not hanging out in the pit.
Right. Nobody hangs out in the pit. Unless you're an artist.
Right.
I mean, it's more for like
unless you're
social media.
Delinquent.
Yeah. Social media props and stuff. Like
if I put pit into my Waze app, will it take me to?
No. Okay. It's It's like 101 High Street or it's like something 100 High Street or it's High Street. High Street.
All right. We can find it from high.
So what'd you do? Did you do something at a hospital station. Or?
Anyway, so yeah, so basically he's like, well, his original idea, he's like, okay, so but the idea is that we can have like some temporary wall put up by the hospital, and you can paint another mural, a secondary rendition of the original one, so they can see it when they walk out, whatever. So he's like, we just need to find somebody to sponsor it. So I'm like, ding, ding, ding. I'm going to call Marty. So I was like, I'm going to call Marty. And he's like, okay, you call Marty and we'll talk about it, whatever. So I call him and it's like, Marty moves so fucking fast. Like, he's just like, he gets an idea or somebody else has an idea. And he just like, I admire the way that he just moves so fast. Me, I overthink things. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll sit on that for a second. That sounds like a good idea. I'm going to think about that.
Yeah.
And then like, sometimes it never really comes to fruition.
Right.
But I think the way that he does things kind of shows you something that like the if you act more quickly on something, you're more likely to make it happen.
Yeah.
Right.
If you wait, you're not going to make it happen.
It's like if you sit on it, it's an automatic fail.
Right. Absolutely.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
100%.
All right, you fucking walking cliche. But no, honestly, you take that quick swing at it, it's going to be a check in the box or a quick fail. And you're done with it.
Yeah.
And if honestly, if you're taking the box, keep going, but whatever.
So I called him and I was like, so I have this idea. And so like, I told him the whole idea and he's like, I have a better idea. And I was like, what's that? And he's like, I have a box truck. And I was like, oh, okay. You know? And so like, I was like, I've never painted on a box truck. That sounds kind of dope. And he's like, it's like a traveling mural. So like, our idea now, like, we still haven't done it yet because I finally just finished painting the top of it, which is a whole other part of the story.
The same box truck?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. You just finished the top?
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
What'd you do to the top?
So, let me backtrack. I'll get to that.
Okay.
So like, you know, so then they're like, I'm doing the second rendition on the side of this box truck. My friend, Ramen, and it is pronounced ramen, like ramen, like rum and coke. You would say rum and coke. Ramen. So it's like it's pronounced like ramen, but it looks like ramen, ramen noodles.
Right.
So people say ramen, people say ramen, but it's ramen.
Ramen.
Okay.
Raman. But he's from India. Anyway.
Okay.
And Bhardwaj, I believe. I think I got that right.
Bhardwaj.
Bhardwaj. BH. Anyway, you got to look at it. Bhardwaj.
Hindu.
Yeah. Well, Indian.
Indian?
Yeah, he's from India.
Okay.
He's from India.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he, like Marty and I both knew him, and Marty was like, well, we have this whole other side of the truck. Let's have him do the other side. So he did like this whole painting of like superheroes fighting COVID. Yeah. It was really cool. Right. Like really cool shit. Right. He finished his faster than I did because I'm like a perfectionist and I was like trying to make it all. And I did my my first realistic portrait ever on this box truck of the nurse. So I did the full color portrait type shit, like instead of just black and white like I'd done before. Because I was like, I'm gonna challenge myself.
Yeah. Wait,
I was like, if I could get all this paint, I have all this shit, like I might as well try it. And Marty's like, yeah, go ahead, try it. I was like, oh yeah.
The original was black and white.
The original was
high contrast, black, white.
Yeah, it was It was pretty much black and white, but it also had the green netting, like the green. What do you call it? The hairnet?
The hairnet.
Yeah, it had the green hairnet. And then like I colored the eyes a little bit.
The head basket.
Yeah. And I think I colored the mask like a tiny bit, but it was mainly, black and white rendition for like the face itself. So anyway, I did that. And then Marty and I are just like, now we're like probably like hanging out. His art loft is in it's behind his house in Summerfield. So like that's where we were painting it in this giant barn. So like we parked the truck in the barn. So I was painting inside a lot of the time, which is good. At least I got to do that. So if it was raining, I could still paint on it and whatever. So it's like this giant barn that was converted into this what we call the art loft. And it is incredible. There's art from
we've heard stories about
all artists all over in there. And then there's this whole other section where it's like, there's like the recreational section where it's like the painting area, and then like there's like a gym, and then you can kind of paint on anything there. And then like the painting room, it's like a where they have like all the fans, like the ventilation, the spray booth. It's like a spray booth room. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Brian Lewis has a lot of his stuff in there, canvas stuff, you know, because it's like you can be inside, you got the fans going, you don't need to wear
the respirators.
I mean, you should. I mean, I do, but like you don't have to wear it as much.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
You know,
but that's because I don't give a shit.
You really should. Anyway, but yeah. Anyway, but and then there's this whole other room where it's like, you know, there's like a computer like area, and then there's, you know, kitchen, couple bedrooms and stuff. So like when people want to come in from out of town, like other artists and stuff, like he has somewhere to house people and keep them. It's like an Airbnb essentially. Like I've stayed there a few times just because it was easier. I live 40 minutes from there, so it's like sometimes it's just
why
like,
not? No,
it's like drinking beer, hanging out. I'm just like I'm just gonna stay here. But anyway, so yeah, we're just like shooting the shit and we're just talking about stuff. And Marty's like, I thought he was joking, and he's like, hey, you know, we could paint the top of the truck. And he's like, yeah, you know, we could hook you up from the ceiling right there. And we could he's like, we could hook you up to this harness. He's like, we could hook you up to this harness, and you could just like do this whole like 007 shit and just like paint the top of the truck. And I was like, dude, that would be fucking dope. Let's do it. And he's like, all right, yeah, cool. So like I didn't think this was actually gonna come to fruition.
Right.
Like I didn't think this was gonna be a thing. But then it like he sends me a picture of his son trying on the harness like 2 days later. Because Amazon Prime, hello, we have a harness. It came in very, very quickly. Bezos. I was like, damn, okay, cool.
Marty
but I'm
and Jeff.
telling you, this shit was fucking difficult. It was so difficult. So they designed a spray can to spray this way.
Yeah, and
there's a reason why nobody does
horizontal, then
there's a reason why I'm the only person in the world that's probably ever done this.
I bet that took for fucking ever.
Right? Fly painting is what we coined the term fly painting.
So, did you have to work at any like jerry rigs or what have you? Like any like, because I imagine what I would have done.
No, we had a platform that I walked on. It's like you can't walk on the truck itself.
Right.
It's a platform, and I would harness some clips and just
scoot along.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So there are two ways I'd have gone about.
You were like reverse Sistine Chapeling that shit.
Yes, I really was.
Actually, yeah, the exact.
I like literally like I did it for so long, so many times. It's like I had bruises on my ribs and my hips and stuff just from like being in the harness for so long.
Yeah. That's sick.
But it was cool though. I have some cool videos from it. Some cool photos from it.
You got to show
I'm
us.
Like, I was fly painting. This is great.
But like me, I would have done like have you seen those like straws that come with the WD-40 cans?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be like, cheating. And then also,
you think that would make it easier?
Maybe.
It's not.
It may. I don't know that thing.
I've
never.
Let him dream.
Okay.
Let him dream.
It's okay.
I've honestly spray painted once in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Just once. And it was a shitty job.
Actually, first time I ever spray painted, I spray painted like this old wooden desk that I got from like the side of the road because I really needed one for my house or my apartment. My first apartment to myself in Florida. I just like, it was really bad. It was really shitty. And I think the spray paint kind of destroyed it because I didn't prime it.
Oh no.
Yeah, so everyone knows you can't just spray paint anything.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You need to prime it first because if you don't, it will corrode the wood and ruin all of your shit.
You gotta put that work in.
Yeah.
You gotta prime it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done so much work since then, and you know this whole like pandemic thing happened, and so I like after the Cheesecakes Alex thing, I quarantined myself in Marty KOTIS' art loft, and it was just me and Raman or Ramen. Sorry. Everybody says Raman. It's not Raman. It's Ramen.
Ramen.
What up, Ramen?
I've been saying it I've been saying it wrong for like a couple of years probably. And he finally mentions it to me, and I was like, well, damn it, man! Why didn't you tell me this before?
It's like me and
you're making
Xavier.
me sound crazy. He's like, no, it's fine. It happens all the time. Like, I get it. You're from India and you're here in the U.S. I understand. It's like there's a language barrier. I get it. And so like it's like, you know.
We did an interview with a guy though. His name is Javier. Mm-hmm. At least according to one of us.
Mm-hmm.
And they called him Javier for I don't know, hour and a half.
The whole episode.
His name's Xavier. It's spelled with an X. You probably could look at it and tell.
Xavier.
To be fair though, to myself, first time meeting him was on the podcast, kind of like this.
Oh wow! Oh cool! Oh, that's great. Isn't he fun? He's great.
Yeah. Oh, he was a champ about it too. He was
he was like, dude, it's like not.
It's like it happens once in a while.
Oh, go check that out too if you haven't already.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen it.
Watch it was the Watch podcast.
That. I need to watch that. But yeah, he's great. He's very he really wants to fill the city with artwork. He's paying the artists.
You're talking about Martis or Ramen?
Oh, Marty.
Marty.
Yeah, I was talking about Marty, but like he just has provided so much opportunity, and it's like, honestly, people are like, "Do you want to live anywhere else?" And I was like, "No, not now. I mean, eventually, I want to travel everywhere, but I just have a feeling that this is just gonna be my home base for a long time, you know. And I can travel wherever, do whatever. It's just like this is just such an up and coming. We just got the top 10. I don't know if you noticed. We just got top 10 places for graffiti art in the country.
That's insane.
No, actually we saw that. I think we reposted that.
Number 10. And they said something about the Elon Musk. They said something Elon Musk. Yep. I did that.
Yep.
It was me, Ramen, and this one artist from Colorado, or originally from Michigan, Colorado. He's been traveling around. He's doing a mural right now for Marty. But, the three of us collaborated on it. He goes by AGPNT. His name's Aaron. But,
Aaron.
Aaron. No, it's A_A_. It's like that's how it's like, cause I have this like contact in my phone. Yeah. Like that's how he put his contact in my phone. And I was like, how the fuck? So I was looking up Aaron. I was like, where can I find it? I was like, oh, it's under Aaron. Which is cool. You know, it's whatever. No, he's a cool guy. He travels around in this van that like he converted into a traveling art studio van thing, so he can just go and do murals all over the country. I was like, that's fucking dope. That's awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah. The 49 loves vans.
Yeah, we do.
Actually, we have a van history, not with the show, but personally between the two of us.
It's a Vistery.
A Vistery. It's a Vistery.
It's a Vistery.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, but yeah, I've done a lot of work since then, and
so I was going to ask you to close up the episode, like what your current projects are and what you kind of hope to achieve in the near future.
Yeah. You know, so I'll try to make this quick because I know we've been here for a while, and I'm already late to dinner, so sorry. It's okay. They're not going to hate me. They love me. That's fine. I'll be late. They should probably expect me to be late because, I mean, I'm not always late, but it happens a lot.
It's kind of a thing. Yeah.
I get distracted. It's fine. Good. Anyway, but anyway, speaking of distraction, so what I was saying, what I'm working on right now is I'm working at a brewery called Paddled South in High Point.
Okay.
They're not open yet, but they will be. It's a 602 North Main Street. So it's like right next to a BB&T.
Near the pit.
Not far from the pit. Not far.
There you have it.
It's really not far from the pit.
Full circle.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's really weird. Yeah, but they found me online, I guess, and I get that Instagram message. Hey, I want to talk to you about a thing, and I'm like, ooh, money, cool. You know, but they're really cool people. Yeah. It's an indoor piece, and it's a 50-foot by 12-foot wall, and I'm doing a realistic landscape for the first time in spray.
Right on.
But it's coming out great. It looks really freaking cool so far. And you know, it's a little trial and error trying to figure out how I want to do things. Layering wise.
Your first landscape, so yeah.
Right, in spray paint. But I mean, I already understand color layering and this and that other thing. Yeah. And you know, I had to make myself like a couple little tools, like stencil type things. Not actual stencils, but like right. So I can get like certain branches to look like branches.
Looking for like sharper edges or whatever you call it.
You know, anything that helps. You know, you got to work smart, not hard.
Oh, amen.
And I mean, in the meantime, yes, I am trying to get better at my can control, but I'm doing what I can.
Absolutely.
With the time that I'm given and, you know, the money I'm given, I'm going to buy the paint. And, you know, the more I mess up, the more paint that I use, the less money I make. So
that's a good point.
That's why I need to get better. Anyway, but yeah, I'm really enjoying the project. I'm almost done with it. I'm anticipating finishing it by Sunday. I want Sunday night to be my last day. I've been back and forth almost every weekend for like 2 months.
Okay.
They've had construction going on in there, so I can't be in there when other people are in there because I'm like, unless you have a full face mask, you're gonna die. So,
is it that?
I wear a full face mask, I have to wear long sleeves, full face mask.
It's pretty poisonous.
Actually, my last YouTube video was spray paint safety.
I saw that one.
Yeah, it was just that's probably my worst video, dude. Is that the only one you've seen? Well, I mean, it was just like I was so ADD, maybe. And I was just like being funny, just talking. Like I'm trying to be more genuine in my videos, like less scripted, like more like me talking to you guys. You know, this is great. I can just be myself.
Oh, we love this.
This is wonderful.
We played the organic game.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what I'm working on right now, and that should be done soon. And they anticipate opening probably in April.
Okay.
Possibly May. So we'll see.
So soon.
So soon. They will be opening soon. New brewery in High Point, paddled south, and the architecture in there. Stab Designs. Justin Stab. He's designing the place, and it's beautiful.
Mm.
Oh God, yeah. And if you look at his website, like he just does great stuff.
A lot of hard lines.
His designs, like he designed the bar area, and it's like they have all these like natural pieces to it. It's just like the concept design and the building of it, you know,
unique,
very unique place. It's gonna be really cool.
So it's a definite check it out.
Definitely, it's a definite. You're gonna want to check this out.
Also, check out Jenna's art on the fucking wall.
Yeah, thanks.
I mean,
go there, check it out. Take photos, tag me. You know, you and your friends get a big photo, take a picture. I'll comment on it. I'll shout you out. Yeah. I'll reshare it and shit. I'll do it. I like doing that. I like doing that stuff. I'm a big fan of my fans.
We like fans as fans of fans.
It's building the community, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
So
but yeah, then for future I want to make more murals. I want to awe-inspire people all over the world. I want to travel. I want to do paintings everywhere. And not only that, it's not just for me. It's not just about me making paintings and becoming famous. And like, there's so much more to fame. And in my mind, it's more of, I want to make an impact. I want to have my YouTube videos teach people things and actually show people that it is possible to be a full-time artist. Just because you think you can't afford it doesn't mean you can't. Somehow the universe just finds its fucking way. You find a way. You always find a way. Yeah. You figure it out. You know what? And I'm just thankful to be where I am right now, and for everything that's happened to me in my life, good or bad. It's brought me here, and I couldn't be more thankful for that.
Usually at the end of every video, we ask someone to like lay a little inspiration down, and
that was it.
That was it.
That was
That's
fucking
what's up.
Yeah.
No, but I think about this stuff all the time. Like I really just. Like, it's possible. It's like you create your own reality. And I completely believe in this stuff. And I was start talking more about that too. You know?
There you have it. Right there. You create your own reality.
You do.
Boom. And believe in yourself.
So
absolutely.
My entire reality is like Letterkenny. It's like fucking figure it out. Like fucking figure it out. Figure it out.
It is a clever show. I'll give it that.
Yeah, we love that show.
So that's how I roll.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. This has been so much fun.
This has really been a lot of fun, and thank you for really just taking time out of your day and coming in and talking to us.
Absolutely. I'm late to dinner, so sorry, but it's fine.
Yeah. And sharing your story not only with us but with the beautiful listeners and viewers.
Yeah.
You know, so huge. Amazing.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. Follow me at Jenna Rice Art.
There you have it. And we'll have all your...
And follow them too.
Please.
Or don't. All I care about is comments. Talk.
Oh, yes.
Talk to us.
Keep the conversation going.
Talk to us. And
with
that...
people to send this to.
Thank you.
Perfect. With that, this has been another amazing episode of the 4099 podcast with your hosts, Nick and...
Dima.
And Jenna.
Hey.
We'll see you on the next one.
Night.
Thanks, guys.
Night.
Thanks, guys.
Night.
Thanks, guys. Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh, that was great.